16, but it's not a machine gun, right?
That's
The
exactly
one
right.
that Kyle probably has 3 of
Yeah.
within arm's reach.
Kyle can probably get one without standing up. If you
Dale Gribble,
Kyle, yeah. So here's the rule: you need to keep touching the red couch. How many guns can you reach? Right? Like you can do this. 2.
I thought it was
3.
All right, so that's 4. 5. 6.
I like that one.
Just in case. Oh, that was my RPG. That I wanted to show that too. 7.
that dropped.
It's a dummy RPG.
Oh wait, look at that white thing. Can you turn that on or no?
No, not this one. I don't have the butane. This is my flamethrower. So
Of course.
just in case. Really
In
gotta.
case you need that to hunt game.
For spiders and shit.
Home defense.
I don't have very many. Well, they all work for hunting game. It just depends how serious you are. And
Well,
what kind
yeah, I
of game
mean,
you're talking about.
they're all.
In Minecraft, if you hunt games with flaming things, then they dropped cook beef. Maybe that happens in real life, right? You take out a deer with a flamethrower, it's ready to eat.
That would be
So
disgusting.
why don't more people hunt with handguns? You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't it be more adventurous? To be out there with a fucking 357 Magnum or something, and act like Dirty
Aiming
Harry.
at a deer from 200 yards for the best.
Some people do. I've never done it myself, but I've got pistols that would be perfect for it in like a 44 Magnum or something like that. You got to be close because the range of a pistol and because of the sights on the. I've got a 44 Magnum with a scope on it. Actually, I could probably kill a deer at 50 or 60 yards. I guess. Yeah, I could definitely do that. But like,
I got a gun that shoots salt at bugs. It's called bug assault.
I think you could prepare a
That's
deer
what you'll tell
with that
home
one.
invader. Get back.
Yep.
This will stink your eyes for a little bit.
If you don't like high blood pressure, you're gonna get out of here.
paprika in there too. Have you been seasoning with that thing?
Yeah, salt and pepper, bitch. Get back.
Curry.
Yeah, you can't really have guns in California very easily.
I've never tried, but I don't know. I mean, I still think that we should be able to have them, but I don't shoot myself, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of hoops to jump through over there.
Are those a bunch of 50 caliber bullets over your right shoulder?
Yeah.
All right.
Just in case, someone comes in a tank.
Is there anything interesting about those tips? Are they incendiary or explosive or
both? They're armor piercing incendiary. So not only will they set everything on fire, but they'll shoot through just about anything. They got a hardened steel penetrator in there that I think is like 30 caliber, but it's inside of that bullet. And it's very hard steel. I don't know what the grade is, but I've recovered them from like solid chunks of concrete, unblemished seemingly after hitting it. So yeah, those are pretty cool rounds. I got a bunch of those.
What are they? $6 a shot? Like, what would you estimate?
I honestly don't know. I got given so many of them several years back, like several hundred rounds worth, that I've just never had to purchase any ever. Eventually I'll run out and I'll have to buy some. But yeah, probably I wouldn't be surprised if it was $10 a round. I'm not really sure.
And something about the nature of BMG shooting, at least when I've done it, it's like an event. Like if I shoot an AR-15, for example, it's bam, 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 bam. You shoot bullets all the time. With this, it's like you line it up. You're doing something special with it. I've never shot back-to-back 50 cals in faster than 5-10 minutes.
Like a treat.
Yeah, and it's a big boom, and the grass all folds over when you shoot it and stuff. It's pretty cool.
He cleared the block. Everybody go in the house. I'm out here shooting.
Yeah, you
I'm a terrible shot. We went to the gun range a couple of times, and I remember they asked me what kind of gun I wanted, and I'm like, I think Tupac used a 9. So I'll go with the 9, and they gave me a Glock 9, and I was a terrible shot. It just put me on edge the whole time because it was like the driving range, except you could get hurt, you could die. You know what I mean? Or you could kill somebody if you shanked one. You know what I mean? Like the driving range is like everybody's gonna look at me like I'm a jackass, but nobody's gonna die. I just felt really uncomfortable, like where I could fuck up and hurt somebody here. And
I don't like that environment for like a beginning shooter. Like I guess I just don't. So I've got a lot of land that I can shoot on, and it's really nice just to go out there and it's just you and like whatever new shooter I'm shooting with, and just be like, hey, all right, so we're safe here. Just don't fucking point that thing at me and we'll be all good. And you stand in front of me and like all that shit out there, shoot any of it. Yeah, shoot that. I don't fucking care. Shoot that toilet, shoot that tree. Yeah, shoot the bird. I don't care. I don't know what that is. Do it.
I don't know his family.
We're not related. I feel like it's a lot more. I know what you're talking about. Like I even like if I'm at a range where like everybody's in single file line or side by side in those booths and everything, I'm really conscious about the way I conduct myself in those scenarios, because you'll look like a jackass, right? You don't want that. You don't want to be the guy who does do the embarrassing thing or or whatever the gun world faux pas is. Yeah, the thing that may not even be a fatal thing, but it might just like look bad to another gun person and they'll think less of you. But it is dangerous in there. I've seen people do silly shit in there, not on purpose, but just it's an environment full of new shooters, and I've seen like people with 50 cal Desert Eagles go boom, 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 and just like get carried away and keep pulling the trigger, and the recoil carries them higher and higher until they're shooting the ceiling, and there's multiple bullets in the ceiling where this guy just got out of hand. And then like you're in a booth and you'll see bullet holes in the booth, like someone had range is that way, and they had to do this to hit the booth, because it's perpendicular to the.
We went to the first time we went, because we went twice, I remember, and the first time was because my wife had a fucking Groupon. So we went to a gun range, and I remember, I mean, this place didn't even have, it wasn't even booths. It was just like it was like when you go to a carnival and you like throw arrows at the little balloons. It was that. It was just basically a counter, and pick a spot and start shooting. Like it's like everybody shoot that way, and it was just really uncomfortable.
The gun range faux pas thing is the one that worries. Like you mentioned that like social pressure. I remember some guy came in, he had a semi-auto. I don't know what it was. I didn't recognize it. It's AR-15 M4 something or other, and the range goes cold and people go and like retrieve and put new targets up and stuff. And when that happens, you have to lock your gun open so that visually anybody can see that this thing is not loaded and it's not in a position to fire. It was a new gun to him. He didn't know how to lock it open, and the like safety officers didn't know how to operate that gun either. And it's this big thing, and like another safety officer comes over and they're all looking at it and they're all dealing with him like shamefully, like you've got to know how to operate this thing, and he didn't know. And I don't know, I never want to be in that spot.
You should know how to operate it. Like that's
He did. I mean,
before you go out with it,
I guess he just didn't know how to lock it in the open position. That's
basic shit?
It was I guess, I don't know. It was a new gun. I didn't know how to keep his thing.
You don't go out with a new chick.
But see, that's just it. You guys are actually looking at him right now like he was that dude was being looked at. Like, I mean, it's basic shit. I mean, it's basic shit to somebody who can sit in one place and reach and find 17 guns. You know what I mean? Like, it's basic shit to you. But it's like, if this is his first gun, it's not. So
I was just empathetic. I was like, I'm glad I'm not him, because neither of these safety officers know how to get this thing to stay in the open position either. I guess it's hard.
Yeah, that's more troubling. The safety officers not knowing is way worse than the guy who was probably like, hey, I need some help with this, and they come over and they're like fucking with it, hoping that they figure it out real quick. But
most guns are really obvious. Like once you've got the bolt in the rear position, like you just kind of look around and there's always a latch, there's always a thing. Right, like whatever it may be. If you pull this back and it's this goes up. And they've all got a thing. Every one of them's got a thing, and it's pretty much the same.
Show us on every one of them.
Have you done the 3D printer gun yet? Do you have one of those?
I do not. So that's a cool idea. And it's interesting that it's a new way to manufacture your own firearm. But the idea of making your own firearm isn't a new thing. It's just a new thing to the general public and like pop culture. In reality, it's very much legal for you to make your own guns at home using hacksaws and pipes and that sort of thing. And as long as they're the correct dimensions, you're all good. You can make your own semi-automatic weaponry at home. That's all legal. There's ways to do it. But the idea of just okay, now I've got a fucking plastic gun that'll go through an X-ray. That's pretty ridiculous. I haven't shot one.
Go ahead.
I haven't shot one, and I know that like they don't have much longevity, or at least early on they definitely didn't because of the material that the 3D printing was using at the time. But I'm always hearing about breakthroughs where the material's getting better and more versatile.
The design, right? It's based on the Liberator.
Yes.
Right? So you're the one that told me this, but apparently the Liberator was used in France. Tell me when I make a mistake.
Yeah. So we dropped these 45 caliber single shot pistols all over France, and they came in this little box, and inside the box were some instructions and even a little cartoon. And basically, they were instructing you to walk up to the, it was Nazi-occupied France. Walk up to the Nazi officer, smile at him, nod, shoot him in the head, and take his machine gun and run.
And now you've got a real gun.
Now you got a real gun. And it was this little piece of shit, stamped metal, and I mean, a tiny 45 caliber single shot pistol. But that's what they modeled that 3D printed gun that got so much publicity off of.
Yeah, it's a bad copy of a shitty gun. And
I think there's supposed to be some the fact that it's the Liberator. I think there's supposed to be some meaning to the fact that they copied that gun, or maybe it's just so fucking simple and easy to do that was a good one to do. Maybe a little bit of.
If you get away from the 3D printer thing, shotguns in particular are easy to make. Like I've seen. I was even thinking of making one for a video once, where they just take 2 sliding pipes, and if you can picture a shotgun shell, I think most people can. It's got that brass and is it a primer in the back? And they just put a pipe that slides into a pipe, and there's a nail. You just pop it back, the nail pierces it, and it shoots. And it's like, that's like a fully functional shotgun, nearly as good as a real shotgun that you could make for $8 in parts from Home Depot stuff.
Yeah, well, guys in prison make guns. I mean, zip guns or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like it's not exactly. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Guns are. I think guns are. It's almost like I hate when they vilify a thing instead of the larger problem, because it's like guns aren't a problem until they're in the wrong hands, or they're being used to, execute whatever tyranny, and it's like, but it's never, you never look at the the large problem of, well, why do we have this sort of, whether it's insecurity or distrust between people that causes whatever firearm incident to happen. Instead of looking at that, you go, no, it's the gun. Just take his gun, and then it would have all been fine. Those Columbine kids wouldn't have done anything if they couldn't get their hands on guns. And it's like, yeah, I think they seem to have enough determination to do what they did. So I think
drive a Cadillac into a crowd and get as many people as they got anywhere.
Exactly. It's like or they were going to build a bomb, or they were going to do something to fuck shit up, because they were where they were at mentally. So
start a fire. I think a fire is the way to go. All you need is some chains, some locks. Get all the fire exits locked off.
You've given this more thought than I have.
Kyle, you're a very good murderer.
I just made that up. Yeah. Burn the whole place down. Burn it down. Burn it grand.
I think that'd be really effective. I mean, there'd be a lot of people escaping through the windows, but a lot of people wouldn't.
You could shoot
Those
them.
are the ones. Oh, that's awful. Well,
yeah, it's terrible. It really is.
A real low for the show tonight.
yeah, I knew I could do it. I knew I could drag you guys down.
Made me feel awful.
Yeah.